Okay, severe weather continues around all of southeastern Wyoming, or many parts of southeastern Wyoming, and in northern Colorado. Let's get right to the radar. I'll show you what's going on. Two tornado warnings continuing here. This is the broad view. We also have a flood warning now in effect for southeastern portions of Albany County. Take a look here. This tornado warning, which is in effect for the city of Laramie as well, is in effect until 3 o'clock. Now, the area of rotation was spotted, this is a few minutes ago, about 10 minutes ago, was just to the 19 miles southeast of Laramie, or around the Pumpkin Vine area. This was continued. It does include Red Buttes and also Laramie. Let's take a look at base velocity here, see where we can find some of this rotation. We're is probably right just to the north of Ty Siding area right now. We'll keep you updated on that. I do want to take a look just up around the other portion of Albany County where this tornado warning is still in effect. I believe that's in effect until 2:45, which is. And this storm, both of these storms have had a history of kind of training right up around the just to the northeast of Highway 287, and then up around Highway 30, up past Bosler, Rock River, and then eventually back towards Medicine Bow. Now I want to real quick switch sources. Bring up my other image here. Here's a look at our current temperatures, and you can see that we're very cool. The warm and moist air really resides to the south of the warm front. Fort Collins in the mid-50s, 70 coming in Greeley, but we're getting some pockets of sunshine down there where we're seeing more of this thunderstorm development. But as you see, as the storms move further to the northwest, past Laramie over to Rollins, it should move into more stable and cooler air masses. So off to the east, temperatures in the 50s, and in Sydney, Scottsbluff, Torrington are slightly more conducive to having at least some severe thunderstorms with some hail at that. Now here's a look at the big picture. This is the U.S. water vapor, and you can see, as you see that rotation, focus your attention right over the Four Corners area. As I go back, I'll play this one more time. I'm going to go back to this water vapor, but there's a big area of low pressure, upper low, what we call a trough, and that is spinning right around the Four Corners and putting a lot of strong upper air, bringing a lot of strong upper air disturbances from the south, and then wrapping back. It's what we call mature trough, so it's what we call negatively tilted. So as the upper level winds go back around to the northwest, they wrap around and enhances that vorticity, or that shear. That's in the upper levels, plus the lower levels we have easterly winds. Now let's go back to the radar, please, Jeff, and I'm going to go back to the big picture, and let's go back down around the Laramie County area where we've seen copious amounts of rain falling around the Buford, Ty Siding, Red Buttes area, and even up towards Laramie. So we do have this green box here. We do have a flash flood warning in effect until 6:30 tonight because of that heavy rainfall. In Laramie, I've just had it handed to me. The Walmart and the hospital has sustained some damage. We'll have more on that coming in as I get that. McCready Yeager, is in the Laramie area and will be giving me reports. Right now, I want to bring in Jeff Denoyer. I think you're on the line with me, aren't you, Jeff? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you have Jeff Denoyer on the line with me? Okay, let's bring Jeff in. He's down in northern Colorado, kind of tracking the stuff as it moves towards the north. Jeff, are you with me?
I am, Tim. I'm
okay.
right here.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Looking at the big picture on the radar, we have two tornado warnings in Albany County. We have a severe thunderstorm warning moving just out of the extreme northeastern sections of Laramie County, not affecting Cheyenne, upwards towards Goshen County. But we're having more development now here down towards northern sections of Larimer County, Weld County. And tell me where you're at and what you're experiencing right now.
Right now we're a little bit further north on 85, and we have some big storms that are developing. Looks like just to the east of Greeley right now. They have produced some hail, and they are continuing to move northwest right towards us. We are sitting right in line for those. It got to the point where we couldn't even go outside and get any video because we were trapped in the van at one point because the winds were so strong we couldn't even open the door to get out of the car as we had some rain go through, and there's some big-time storms out to our west that went through Wellington, a place that had already been hit earlier today, getting hit once again with another round of storms on the radar, and they were some big-time storms going through the Wellington area, which I heard he had sent pictures back of damage that happened there with the earlier storm, so a place that's getting hit multiple times now. And keeping an eye out towards east of Greeley right now, I think, is a real problem area in this particular area that we're at right now, as some storms are developing rather quickly and intensifying quickly just to the east of Greeley that are moving northwest just towards Nunn, and then eventually maybe a little bit further south back towards Pierce. And we've already had storms that formed just to the south of us just moments ago that have joined forces with those other storms that went through Wellington as well.
Okay, now Jeff, tell me where your location. We know these storms are moving to the north, to the northwest, and they have already affected areas around Laramie and also the city of Laramie itself. But here in Cheyenne, we've been pretty lucky. We have, as you can see on the radar, we have storms over to the east, over around the Kimball, Nebraska area, and also up in Goshen County. Then another line from Laramie, just north of Laramie, back down to the south east towards Fort Collins. But how do you see these storms? What can you see up around the Cheyenne area? Obviously nothing on radar right now, but do you see anything in the imminent future from the field that may impact the Cheyenne or southern sections of Laramie County?
I think it's those storms east of Greeley that are developing right now. They look like they kind of have a V line for the Cheyenne area. If you take a look at the map and the radar and just the way that they're moving northwest, they're originating here right just to the southeast of us now. And they have a northwest and a northerly flow to them coming up towards Cheyenne. Those are the ones I think that we have to be concerned about for the Cheyenne area, as most of the other energy from the storms earlier today to the east out towards Pine Bluff, as you mentioned, out towards the west and Laramie, they have kind of put Cheyenne right in the middle, sitting pretty right between those two storms. But I don't think that third one down by east of Greeley is going to veer off to the east or west of Cheyenne. That's the one I would be concerned with, as that one is developing just to the southeast of us now. That's why we're getting these strong winds developing.
Okay, let's zoom in a little bit here. You're in the Nunn area still, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you have a good vantage point to this storm right in the Wellington area, and we need to point out to the folks watching at home that this thunderstorm right here where my arrow is pretty much is raining and dropping heavy rain and even some hail in some of the tornado damaged areas, unfortunately. And then we have this other area of thunderstorm development just off to Jeff's location, which is in the east, just to the east of Alton, and that is going to track up more closer towards Cheyenne. You can see this storm track as you follow my arrow back up to the northwest. As long as that holds together and doesn't fall apart, that will eventually track at least to the western sections of Cheyenne and up around the I-80, I-25 interchange there. So let's zoom out and take a bigger picture. Jeff, are you in any rainfall right now? Are your winds really heavy? Let's go back over that real quick.
Yeah, the winds are very strong. So strong, in fact, we can barely even open the door. Amy's trying to get out to the field to take the camera out to take some pictures, and also she has a video camera. We can't even get to the point where we were actually stuck in the van, could not even open the door. One cell went through just a moment ago, and now the developing storm to the southeast of us, another round of storms for us as we sit here on Route 14 just north of Nunn. And the rainfall came down heavy briefly for about 2 minutes and then stopped. And then all of a sudden we had sunshine, believe it or not, for about 2 minutes. And now we have more storms developing just to the southeast.
Okay. And of course, obviously our greatest concern right now, we're talking about new storm developing that will eventually potentially affect us here in Cheyenne and in southeast Wyoming. But obviously the big threat right now remains in the tornado-warned places here in southeastern Albany County, which includes the city of Laramie. And I just want to, Jeff, I want to let you know that we've got more damage reported. And for you folks, just joining me or didn't know, some damage being reported at Walmart and also at the hospital in Laramie. I have no other details over that. Carrie Hayden's handing me some more information. Pea-sized hail being reported in Granite Canyon. Thank you very much for these reports. I know the entire news staff here is helping me. I'm here in the Weather Center by myself, so I'm trying to keep up with this as best as possible. Thank you to everybody here at the station helping me out, and thank you, a big note of thanks to you folks at home, whether you're in Laramie or in Granite Canyon or wherever you might be, calling in to give me information so we can pass it along. I know the Weather Service that issues the watches and warnings is getting some of this information, and we will make sure to go ahead and give them the information when the time's right. But now the priority remains to keep people safe. And speaking of safe, your safe place, let's review once again. We've done it all morning long and all afternoon long. Let's do it again. If you're in a tornado warning, that means a warning means a tornado has been sighted, or Doppler radar is indicating the potential for a tornado, which is what we have going on now in Albany County, the two warnings. You need to go into the basement. If you do not have a basement, I need you to take shelter on the lowest level of your house or apartment or place of business. Also, make sure there's no windows, and take pillows and blankets and cover up with them. I know they may not do a lot, but anything is better than nothing, because we've already had some reports in Colorado and I believe in Weld County or just in the Weld County area, Larimer County, also of a death and also lots of injuries. Now, I just got a report from McCready Agutter, and it's just being handed to me. The power lines are down by the junior high school in Laramie. So thank you very much, McCready. Give me any reports you have. I just want to reiterate this phone number. Let me go ahead and bring it up. I'm going to have to zoom around some graphics here, so bear with me. The caller news line, if you have anything to report, obviously if you're in a safe place, 888-248-NEWS. Okay, that is if you're in a good place, you can tell me what you're experiencing, if you have any damage in your area, and if you have some pictures after the storm passes or you're in a safe place, email them to us here at weather@kgwn.tv. I'm not going to get to them right now, but if we have them and I can get them on air, I'll at least try to do my best to put them on at 5:30 and again tonight at 10. But in the meantime, I'm going to stay with you. Let's go ahead and go back to radar. Jeff, bring that up for me. Let's switch sources. I'm just going to show you the big picture here. And that is, here's what's going on around the entire viewing area. And I'm going to go to the east here. I'm going to turn off these storm tracks. This is one of my radar sources here because we have more thunderstorms going on even out in the Sydney area. I know you folks in Nebraska, we haven't talked much about you out there, and you do have some thunderstorms, although no warnings in the Nebraska Panhandle, but we do have some thunderstorms ongoing with some small hail, marginally severe hail here in the eastern reaches of Sydney or Cheyenne County around between Chapel and Sydney. Also, I imagine that'll work up towards the Gurley and Dalton area. That also is affecting Lodgepole. Granted, that is in the eastern reaches of our viewing area, but we want to make sure we don't leave you out. Now, another thunderstorm that I'm zooming in here just in the Bushnell and also in the Pine Bluffs area. That is just to the west of Kimball. I'm going to bring up my YDOT cam and let's see what we can find out in the Pine Bluffs area. So bear with me just a moment. Let's see what we can see going on over that way. The camera, unfortunately, not available. Well, let's just go back to Laramie and see what's going on as I refresh this. Here's a great shot. Unfortunately, it's not a great shot, but here's a shot of a semi overturned on I-80. You can see law enforcement there managing that situation. That is facing to the west, so that would be coming down from the summit here. And then here's a view facing the gate. You can see some kind of obscured, but still some rainfall in the area. And then, of course, there's that picture of that boat that got blown off, the semi-trailer. That's facing back up towards the east. And actually, if you look here, follow my arrow, you can see some debris in this area, just right here where this is, and then back over here. So, and also a lot of rain on the side of the roadway here, but I can see some debris here, and that would be indicative, at least if not winds, of maybe the potential tornado went through that area. So even if it was a weak tornado, that area I think is not too far from where the Walmart is. So we'll keep you abreast of the situation here. Pardon my choppiness with this picture here, but again, we still have damage in that area. So bad news. Now I'm going to zoom out. Once again, we're going to take the big picture. Good news is the severe thunderstorm warning that moved in with this cell right here. I'll zoom in on it here. I'll try to do it as slowly so I don't rubberneck you. But this storm right here in Goshen County has weakened. It's moved into cooler air here, so the threat of severe out of that has diminished quite a bit. That is moving towards Chugwater. You folks might get a little bit of rain and some small hail, maybe pea-size out of that. Now, back out of these thunderstorms, where Jeff and Amy is looking to the west, we're having a couplet showing the potential for rotation down here in the Wellington area. So we're going to need to monitor that quite a bit as well, as that'll be the next wave that comes up that'll have the potential to produce tornadoes. Now, up around the Laramie area, as I zoom up, this tornado that was in effect for the far northwestern sections of Laramie County looks like it has now expired. That is great news. Taking a look on radar, it looks like the storms have weakened beyond severe limits, but we still have this storm to contend with here around the Laramie area, although as I switch sources to my other radar here, it looked like I was having a hard time depicting where the rotation might be with that. But so what we're going to do is we're still going to follow the tornado warning. It's in effect until for another 12 minutes until the top of the hour. That's 3 o'clock local time. And I'm getting some more information handed to me here with some folks calling in. Once again, I want to thank you for people calling in. We had a report from a lady calling in, and I think that's the same gal that called before. Thank you for your reports, who called in from the Granite Canyon area. That said that she felt her home shake, and we're going to give you a call if we have your number. Let's bring you on we can have you describe to the viewers at home we're going to put you on the speakerphone and have you describe what you felt in that area and what time it was. So in the meantime, we're going to review. We're going to review what happened with the radar. The strongest storm, which is not warned at this time, well, let's see, hold on, bear with me. The strongest storm in the area right now is back around the Buckeye north of Wellington. That's producing some hail almost about 1 inch in diameter, and that's where Jeff and Amy are just to the east of that, monitoring that. So we're going to continue with that. Now, I think we have, is it Martha Miller? Maria Miller. Maria, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'm going to move my microphone so the folks at home can hear you.
Okay.
Now, you're calling from the Granite Canyon area, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, we have another microphone on the speakerphone. Bear with me just for a moment here, Maria.
Okay.
Maria, did you call me earlier with that hail and the rotation report?
I did.
Okay, and once again, thank you for that report, and I hope you did it when you were in a safe place.
Yes.
Let's go back and review. About what time did you feel your house shake in your area?
It must have been around 2. It was the first storm that came through here anyway, and the first thing we got was large hail. It must have been about maybe a little bit smaller than golf ball size.
Okay, now are you in Granite Canyon? Where exactly are you? Tell so I can zoom in on the radar.
Okay, the Harriman exit is 342,
Okay.
and we live about 11 miles south of that exit.
Okay. So as I view in on the radar now, this isn't what the storm looked like when you felt your house shake, but we're looking you're just on the outside for the folks at home, just on the outside of that flood warning. Let's continue. So it was the previous tornado warning which caused some damage in the Beaufort area, which where your house is would be consistent with where that damage was reported. Also on the track from your home to Beaufort and then back up towards Laramie.
Yes. We're just at the edge of Albany County.
Okay, I have you
End
here.
of our lane is Colorado, so we're just at the Colorado border.
Okay, can you reiterate for me one more time, Maria, about approximately what time did this happen?
I think it was about 2. It was the first storm that came through here anyway.
Okay, and where were you at the time? You were at home, right?
In the house,
Okay, now when you felt the house shake, were you in your safe place, I hope?
Yeah, we had just finished lunch and we was sitting at the table, so right away we went into the, close to the bathroom. There's no windows in there, and there's a little hallway. So we just stood there till it had kind of gone, past us.
Okay, how long did it last, Maria? How long did the shaking last?
Boy, that's hard to say.
Probably felt like an eternity, didn't it?
I really don't know.
Okay. Do you have any damage to your house or to your property? Are you on a farmstead? Are you on a ranch or an acreage?
We kind of live on a small acreage, and we have a slab fence here, and it pulled about 5 feet of that up.
Okay.
And laid it across our car.
Okay, so you do have damage to your car then?
We're not sure. We haven't been out. It's been so bad we haven't, ventured out yet.
Good. I'm happy to hear that, and I want you to stay inside and stay in your safe place.
And we have one of our biggest ponderosa pine trees was uprooted, and it fell to the north, just the other side of our propane tank.
Okay.
And we have one of those hose carriers that's pretty heavy with about 75 feet of hose on it, and it's about 25 feet from where it's supposed to be.
Okay, so we've
and
had...
And they're just small things strewn around.
Okay, now describe what you see with the damage. Does it look like things are randomly scattered about, or are they in a pattern? Say from...
In a pattern.
Okay, so from southeast maybe to northeast, or from south to north?
It seems like it came from Laramie and was headed to Cheyenne.
Okay, it came from Laramie and headed to Cheyenne. Okay, well, we'll have to get out there and survey the damage when the event is over and see whether we think whether this was maybe some strong winds or in fact a tornado. But in the meantime, I want to thank you for your call. Okay. And we're going to get back to the radar. Maria, call us anytime, and any of you folks at home, feel free to call at any time and give us, as long as you're from a safe place. And I want to point out that Maria did an outstanding job with, she did call us with reports, but she heeded our advice, and that is she took shelter and she has not gone outside, but I'm assuming she's looking out the window, which in her part, she still has some heavy thunderstorms in her area, but she is not in any of the warnings right now. Now, let's reiterate and see and take a look. We still have that tornado warning in effect for Albany County. Let's see if we have an update on this. 250 Doppler radar continue to indicate that thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. It was located near I-80 at mile marker 323, or 7 miles southeast of Wyoming. So that was at 2:46. That was a good 6 minutes ago. So this storm has moved off a little bit. So what we're probably seeing here is this area right where my arrow is now moving a little closer towards Laramie. I'm going to turn off the warning, so I don't want you to think that these warnings have been canceled. They're still in effect. At least the tornado warning is still in effect until 3 o'clock. Let's see if we can pick up any rotation here on my velocity at the different scans here. And the only thing I'm really picking up is the potential down by tie siding, which necessarily wouldn't be in the indicative side of the storm where we'd expect a tornado. But nevertheless, the tornado warning is in effect for you folks in Laramie. I still want you to be in your safe place until 3 o'clock or until I give you the all clear. And let's zoom out and take a look and see what's going on around the rest of the viewing area here. And no other warnings in effect. That's great news, but we still have some much needed rainfall falling, unfortunately, with some hail. And some of this rain that's falling has fallen in the vicinity of where we've seen sustained heavy tornado damage in the Wellington area, back down just around, I believe, Windsor, Timnath, and also down to the south of Greeley, down by Gilcrest. So a lot of heavy damage down around there. We're going to be hearing more about that. Again, another heavy thunderstorm just around the Buckeye area. I'm going to switch my sources, so bear with me here for just a moment, folks. As I zoom out here, you can see this storm right to the north of Wellington, Doppler radar indicating a hail size right about a half an inch. So small hail falling just to the east of Buckeye and to the west of Carr. That would obviously be to the north of Wellington, who at this point probably doesn't need any more rainfall. No warnings on that yet, but I do have Jeff and Amy out in Storm Tracker 5. Okay, I do have Jeff. Okay, I do have Jeff DeNoyer on the phone. Jeff, can you hear me? Do we, Jeff? Okay, okay, all right. Jeff is east of Nunn. And which way is he looking? Is he looking to the west?
North of Greeley. Turn it north of Greeley.
Okay, what do you? I've got a report of rotation from Jeff. I'm trying to find out exactly where.
Looking east, southeast.
Okay. Okay. Tell Jeff to call me on the IFB line, please, so we can get a field report for that and we can let the folks at home know what's going on. I'm going to assume it's this storm right here that I was just speaking of. Let's take a look at Analyst Edition now and look at our base velocity, and we would probably see the rotation somewhere just to the east of Buckeye around I-25. Once again, to my last report stated that I-25 between Fort Collins and Cheyenne is closed, and I don't know if it's just because of damage or because of heavy rain or what, but okay, we've got Jeff on the IFB line. Jeff, are you with me?
I am. I'm with you right now, and Amy, Meninghetti, and myself are going to try to get ourselves into a position where we're a little bit safer because we have some clouds working in from the southeast right now, and there's some torrential rain heading our way, and you can see the rotation in the clouds just to our southeast. This is a storm that's forming just to the east of Greeley. I know I'm pretty far away from the van right now, so I know the wind is going to make this kind of hard on my cell phone. But you can see the circulation in the clouds. I do not see on radar any cyclonic development right now where we could see a possible tornado, but we are seeing hail, and we're getting reports of hail of about an inch in diameter right now just east of Greeley, as Amy has the camera out in the field taking some pictures. We're trying to get some pictures for you to send back, but we're going to try to move a little bit north because we're right in line for this. We're going to try to find a safe area to get away from the storm because this one looks like it's building pretty quickly right near us.
Okay, Jeff, if you can hear me, I want you to look to your west. There's a storm that's going to affect excuse me, northern sections of Colorado as well as into Albany County once again, and that's in the Buckeye area. Just to your west of your location in northwest, that would be almost due north of Wellington. And I want you to keep an eye on that. You're going to have to kind of split yourself between that storm up Highway 85 and also to this next round down in Weld County, just to the east of Greeley, that's going to work its way up towards Cheyenne here eventually. But I want you to keep an eye on both locations for me, okay?
I definitely will. A little concerned about the one to the southeast of us. We're going to try to outrun this one to the north as we can see some developing. We have an anvil cloud just to the southeast. You can see it. It's unbelievable. I wish I had the camera to show you, but we have a distinct anvil cloud coming up towards us right now, moving into our area. You can see a distinct black cloud extended, almost like an outflow boundary.
Okay. Okay, and I just want to reiterate the anvil that Jeff's talking about, not a severe feature with the thunderstorm, but the things that we need to be concerned with here are large hail and also the threat of tornadoes, especially from Albany County and back down into northern Colorado. Jeff, I'm going to let you go. You have two safe options here, which of course you know, and that is back up to the north towards Cheyenne or down south towards Greeley. So I'll let you pick either one, but we do want to track these storms that are heading back up towards the Cheyenne area, okay? We're going to take a break here, and we're going to take a break, and I just want to reiterate one thing about the tornado watch, and that is that Cheyenne and the southern sections of Laramie County are in the tornado watch, not a tornado warning, but in a tornado watch until 8 o'clock. That also includes northern Colorado and over towards Laramie. I'll get a graphic together and show that. We need to take a little break for a few minutes, and we'll be right back.